Hello everyone, what's up warrior students? I have finally gathered enough informations to make the second part of the early game tank guide series, and this time we are going to talk about single target or raid tanking. And yeah, you can tank with a two-hander, and if you want to tank with a two-hander you can just go for pretty much the build you would use for your 200 DPS. Like what else can we spec? I guess a little bit of heroic strike, aka quick strike reduction, and then you have to see for yourself if you want to use overpower or not. Overpower requires you to be in battle stance, and therefore you would need to tank in battle stance, which is also possible. But if you don't want to do that because it's a little bit less safe, you don't want to pick up improved overpower. For runes, you can just use the runes that you would use for your two-handed DPS. That's consumed by rage on your pants, raging blow on chest, and quick strike on gloves. But you can also use devastate on your gloves, and then when the situation calls for it, you swap to one-hand and shield, and you are still capable tank. So yeah, this would be a little bit of a safer route. But for everyone who wants to tank with a shield, because it's like with a shield you get so tanky that you can pretty much solo tank almost every boss, which is also a benefit, because then you only need one tank and your other tank can basically be the two-hand off tank or something else, maybe a completely full-on DPS. So like I said in the last video, there are a couple of builds that you can go for, and I already showed you like this build here. Defiance is really good because it's the best talent for threat that we have available, but it doesn't deal any damage. So if you don't think you need the threat, which you should not, like you shouldn't need that extra threat, you can put that into cruelty to get a little bit of extra damage. You could also like put it into deflection or anticipation or whatever, but I think the best choice would be to put that in cruelty. So this way you are really tanky, you have a oh shit button, and you don't deal a lot of damage though, but that's okay, I think. Then there is the build that would grant you the most personal DPS, and this is here you want to go for deep wounds and everything else into crit. So this would be the build that you want to run if you just want to deal as much damage as you can with a tank. And then we have the build that I'm using, because I think this is most beneficial to my raid and whatnot. It's like this. Now this point is whatever, you can put it wherever you want. The only thing I would not spec is enrage, because even though this sounds really good, and it's in theory it is really good, but the problem is that you want to play with consumed by rage even as a tank, and enrage doesn't stack with consumed by rage, so this point is kind of wasted. If you can keep your consumed by rage up, this point is completely wasted, so I will not skill this. I like this one because I get 5% crit, I get extra rage, and I still support my group. So I basically gain the most damage I can as a tank, I think. I don't think that the 3 points in deep wounds will beat 2 more points in cruelty, more rage from unbridled wrath, and 15 attack power more on myself and all 3 members of my group. I highly doubt that deep wounds will beat that. So I think this is like the best spec right now. For runes, you can pretty much do 2 things. No, you can do more, but on the chest piece you can go with Raging Blow or Flagellation. We will talk about the difference after we talked about the other runes. So because in the pants you want Consumed by Rage pretty much always, unless you are like the tank that needs to pick up a lot of ads, but there is only one fight where this could come in handy, and there are not enough ads that Consumed by Rage would be Furious Thunder would be worth it. There are only, most of the time, like they only will add 2 more logs, so it's only 2 more targets that you just can put on one thunder on each of them, and you have them on you. And the other part is that those Morlocks, they deal like 0 damage, so even if they attack a melee DPS, it's irrelevant if they attack a melee DPS. It could even be beneficial if they attack melee DPS. If it's a warrior that gets more rage from that and a little bit of parry haste, sure, why not? Let them attack the warrior. You will get something out of this. Then, yeah, but you want to use Consumed by Rage. And it's kinda hard. If you start the fight with 0 rage as a tank, you will need to use your rage potion at the start. And even then, you maybe struggle to get to 80 rage. So if you are the main tank who starts the fight, you want to pool rage before the fight is happening. So if you have to explain the boss every time, like 30 minutes explanation before every boss, Consumed by Rage might not be really good. If that's the case, you want to say to your group that you first explain the boss before you kill like the last ad that is close to the boss, so you can use that mob next to the boss to get your rage up. It's like really important for your build to function. And then in the gloves, you want to have Devastate because it's just extremely strong. For your chest, like I said, you can go for Flagellation or Raging Blow. Raging Blow deals a little bit more damage than Devastate, and it costs no rage. So specifically, when you don't have the luxury that you can pool rage at the start, Raging Blow is kinda nice because you can press something without losing rage to gain a little bit of threat, so that you get to your Consumed by Rage window with doing 1 Raging Blow and maybe using a taunt, and then you're good to go, hopefully. Flagellation is, I would say, the best rune for your chest. It should be better than Raging Blow. I had great success with Raging Blow, but Flagellation on paper should be better, especially if you are able to pool your rage before the fight begins. So when you start with a lot of rage, you start with Consumed by Rage and Flagellation. Like for the first 12 seconds of the fight, you get 20% extra damage and 25% extra damage. So that's just insane. And the first couple of seconds of a fight are pretty important, because everyone bursts the boss, and therefore the DPS is doing a lot of threat, and therefore you as a tank, you also want to do a lot of threat in the first couple of seconds. So Flagellation helps with that. And on some bosses, like, it depends, every time your blood rage comes up, Flagellation gets a huge value. So if the fight is like, you can fit 2 blood rages in there, so it's like the fight is like 1 minute and 12 seconds, Flagellation is extremely strong. If the fight is like only 60 seconds long, like exactly 1 minute, Flagellation gets a little bit less value. But then again, if you are in like a really strong guild that kills bosses in like 30 seconds, Flagellation becomes even stronger, because then like half of the fight you fight with your Flagellation buff active. And yeah, that your choices for talents and runes. And gear is like, whatever you want to balance damage and tankiness, like damage and durability of your character. Unless you are like solo tanking, in that case you want to be really tanky. But other than that, you can get away with a wing like this. That just gives you a lot of agility and strength, but no stamina if the rest of your gear is like really good. For example, I use this shield. I also have this one, which has more armor and more block, and more stamina, but it does not have strength. This shield has 6 strength, so I'm using this one. These are like some gear choices that you can make. Now, as for the interface, because I assume that there are going to be some comments about the interface again, like, this interface is built out of 3 add-ons. The unit frames here is Z Pearl. The bars down here is Bartender 4. The rage bar and the swing timer are weak auras, and the nameplates are plater nameplates. I have a video from like Burning Crusade Classic that is like 40 minutes or something about how to build a good interface for you. I will link this in the description, so if you really want to build your own interface and you have no idea how to do it, this video should help you out. And yeah, that's it for this video. As always, I hope you learned something, and until the next one, stay tuned and take care.